Aloha, friends and neighbors. Rollin Frost here, Kona Astrologer, with another show for you. Show number 1132. Hope there's something in it that you will get profit from or lighten your load a little bit. I'm still here. Of course, this is me 35 years ago. I'm getting old. The body is punishing me a lot. I don't know how long I'm going to stay at this, folks. So I want to encourage you, because I'm not your normal astrologer, no. And you're not going to get this kind of stuff from just any old astrologer. So you better get at me before I get too old and give up on this stuff. Yes, that could happen. And it's not a reading that involves any causation, any counseling, any advice. I just read the schedule for you of what's coming up for the next couple of years, where it's slowing down and where it's speeding up. And that's what you want to know. It's like a weather report, but I'm really good at it. And I got the experience and the knowledge, and I want to do it for you. And I need the money. I've had to put an air conditioner in. My electric bill is going way up. So I need some chart work. I want to do your chart. So get it together. Go to my website. Yeah, it's just Rollin Frost. Oh, where is my website? It's Sky Mirror. There it is. Sky Mirror Astrology.com/TV. And there's blogs and the shows and instructions on getting a chart read. And if you have questions, rollinfrost@yahoo.com. Now, let's get down to business. I want to do the Sky Mirror for show 1132 for you. Here it comes. What's coming up? Well, we still got Mars squaring Uranus. And that full moon went off close to this. So unusual heat problems. Uranus is still acting up. We got quakes and tornadoes and hurricane kind of stuff. And a revolutionary spirit. And Uranus does trine Saturn. There are some people in authority trying to help those that are indigent, that have no homes. There are a lot of people on the Big Island that are suffering. Yep. Jupiter's still trining Neptune, sextiling Pluto. There's a lot of new ideas and inspiration coming up. The Sun is going through the latter part of Leo for your next week, going from the last 10 degrees in Leo. Starts off in square to Jupiter, everybody laughing too much. And Mercury's there too, squaring Jupiter, laughing. Kids are loud. Stop being so loud, everybody. The Venus, oh yeah, look at her. She's starting off trining Mars, roughly. And a week, 10 days later, she's up here at 13 degrees of Libra, and she's not doing as well. Coming to the square to Pluto. Well, enough of that. Let's look at this day by day and see how it winds up. We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern and kind of see what it does every day. And as you go into Thursday, well, your Thursday morning, the moon's still in Cancer. And as soon as you get to the middle of the day, it changes into Leo right here. And as soon as it does, here's the square to Uranus and the opposition to Mars. And here's your heat stroke and your sudden heat. I mean, there are countries all over the world burning up. People dying in Japan. People all over the world. There's fires. There's hot temperatures. Old people dying of heat. Hell, I'm 77, and I just had to spend my life savings to get an air conditioner, and now I got to sweat out how to pay the electric bill. But I don't think I could live without that conditioner. My body doesn't handle heat anymore. So here's your hot spot. The worst of it is you're not going to like the heat, and the electricity went out. At this point, things happened. It's just chaos plus being overly defensive. It's all coming down Thursday night. Yep. August 9th. You'll still be feeling it on Friday, August 10th. You get a little, people take care of each other a little bit in the morning. The moon goes by the north node. There's a little nurturing around. Time you get to Friday afternoon, there's the sun scoring Jupiter. Everybody overdoing it. Overdoing it. But there's a lot of kids, going to say what they think here too. Mercury has got something to say. Well, the sun's going to move up here and go through the last part of Leo, which is a hot sign. Once it leaves Leo, maybe in about 10 days, and goes into Virgo, maybe it'll cool off a little bit. We can only hope. So here's Saturday night, the 11th moon. The moon trines Saturn and trines Uranus. And everybody's helping each other. And the air conditioners are back on. And you especially got to help the old folks. And certain pets and animals have trouble with heat. The kind of heat that's being generated. Now you know this is global warming, don't you? Yes. That a lot of Republicans ought to be feeling guilty and sorry. And maybe they're going to vote Democrat and get these idiots out of office that reject global warming. The longer they wait, the more species die, the hotter the earth is. The whole of humanity is in danger if the U.S. doesn't step up and change its mind and get these idiots out of office. Yes. So this is important stuff Saturday night. We got to organize the environmental groups. Organize. That's what it's about. Moon's in Virgo. On Sunday, the moon's still in Virgo. It hits a sextile to Jupiter. Truth and wisdom comes out. Yay! around just after lunch and around lunchtime. And then an hour or two later, it opposes Neptune. Who's that? I call them priest, artists, doctor, musicians. These are the famous people. Here's the movie stars. They're just going to rake in the money, including Mr. Trump. And they're not too much caring about the rest of us. Nope, they're not. These are the billionaires, the famous people, draped in furs and jewels. And boo on them. It's going to take some radical action. Sunday night here about 1 o'clock in the morning, the moon trines Pluto. And by golly, people are starting to think we got to be radical about this. Can't wait and wait and wait. Elections and bullshit. We got to face this global warming right away and do something about it. Take 2/3 of the budget out of the military. Russia'd be happy with that. They would do the same thing. Take all that money and start a new army to combat global warming. Yes, that's the kind of thing. We need a World War II effort across the whole country to combat global warming. And we better get after it. That's my say. Moon in Virgo early Monday on the 13th. And you'll get positively martial about it Monday night. When the moon trines Mars. I don't know how hot it is where you are, but wow. A lot of people are hurting, and there's a lot of wildfires. And this isn't going to stop. This isn't a freaky thing. This is just going to get worse every year. You know, the other thing I learned was the violence is going up. The higher the temperature, the more violence on people. And a lot of this violence is turned inward, so the suicide rate is going up. What did they say? Was it one of those dry desert places? I forget which one. Colorado? No. Arizona. Suicide rate went up 16%. So this is life-threatening, not just from heat, but from psychology. They say the suicide rate's going to continue to climb, and tough on old people, because this is just the beginning of the global warming events. What's he doing? What does he say about this? He's going to deny this as global warming? Come on. Somebody went down with a pickaxe and pickaxed the star on the sidewalk for Trump. Took it out. The feeling is getting stronger and stronger that this has got to change. Do we have to wait till November to vote these idiots out that are killing the world and killing our children and grandchildren and all of our animals? Do we have to wait till then? Jeez. American politics. Well, you feel like giving up here when the moon goes by Venus on Tuesday the 14th. And I don't blame you. Can't give up, though. Nope. Talk to your kids Tuesday afternoon. They will tell you you can't give up. It's a feeling of crisis late Tuesday night. This is actually 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday morning, the 15th. And there's a square to Pluto. Eek, a bug! Well, you're out of that nasty lunation that exaggerated this. So hopefully this isn't a big panicky attack. Because you feel better Wednesday, just before lunch. Because here's a nice sextile to the sun. We kind of got our heads. We'll get something done here, everybody says. But what happens? Here's the square to Mars. Everybody's angry, impatient. And the opposition to Uranus. Here's the hot spot again. Yeah, it's moved to Thursday morning. It was Thursday afternoon last week. Now it's Thursday morning. It's going to get hot. There's going to be freaky temper tantrums. There's going to be crises of heat and fire. And you got another one right here, Thursday. Moon in Scorpio, maybe it'll rain. When Jupiter shows up, which is late Thursday night, early Friday morning, about 3-4 o'clock in the morning, the moon's going to go by Jupiter. We should get some thunderstorms and some rain. Trines Neptune, the water's good. So the good news is Friday morning, Friday afternoon, we're going to get some help with the heat. There is, however, a square to the sun. We can't get too much done here after dinner. A little frustrating. Saturday morning, the moon shifts in to Sagittarius, and there's a nice sextile to Mars. We can do something about this heat. What can we do? What can we do? Ready to go. That's the way it feels Saturday. The heroes are out. Sunday morning, we got nice sextiles to Mercury and to Venus. And the kids are happy. There's some loving family vibes around. It's all good until you get to about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the moon squares Neptune, and there's confusion. So if you want to go to church, you should go early. Take the earliest thing you can for your religious experience Sunday, because after lunch, it's nothing but confusion, bad smells, and deception. Confusion, bad smells, and deception from Neptune. So, yeah. Well, you feel a little bit alone. You know, Uranus just stopped here, 2-3 days ago for you. If you're watching the show on the 9th of August, Uranus stopped on the 7th. You're in the middle of the hurricane, in the middle of the earthquake stuff. I've already pinned down a bunch of locations, but you're going to feel it here. Don't be surprised if there's power outages and things. It's supposed to give you a feeling of isolation and then a feeling of brotherhood. I used to say that hurricanes were good for an area because they came in and trashed all your stuff. They come in slow so nobody gets killed. Everybody can hide. All the little farm animals all hid on my little place in Kauai. They all came through. But, it trashes your stuff. Takes away your electricity. What happened? Well, people had freezers full of meat. And they knew that with no electricity, it was all going to spoil. So they put their barbecue out in the street. And they started barbecuing up all the meat, invited all the neighbors to a barbecue. So you get to meet your neighbors for the first time, and you start helping people. A couple guys across the street gave me 2 big blue tarps to cover my roof. Oh, that was really, thank you, thank you, thank you. Neighbors helping neighbors. There's a component to these Uranus kinds of disasters that promotes brotherhood. It does not promote the kind of Trump characters. I got all the money and screw you. Where are these billionaires? Where are they? I recall when Jane Fonda married Ted Turner, Turner Classic Movies. The two of them got together, and at that time in the Balkans, there was landmines all over from the war. And little kids would just try to go out and play, and they get their legs blown off. It's bad, really bad. So Jane Fonda convinced Ted Turner. I think Ted Turner had $3 billion then. So he spent like $2 billion, and he and Jane hired a bunch of folks, and they went out and they cleaned up all the landmines. All of them. Over this huge area of several countries. It's a wonderful thing. Ted Turner used his billions in a wonderful way. How about the rest of these billionaires? What are they doing with all this money? Hoarding it? Can't take it with you, Better do some good for the rest of us. We're going to need your billions, to combat global warming. Downsize the military. And all the black apartments. We don't need those people. We're going to wind up fighting everybody in the world instead of attending to the climate change. And that's if a lot of American industrialists have their way, they got to keep making the bombs and the planes and this and that to make money. And they're going to ignore global warming, aren't they? We'll see. Maybe they'll start putting us environmentalists in jail to shut us up. How far will they go? How far will we go? How far does Raleigh go before, he decides to start taking real action? I grew up in Oakland, Hells Angels, Black Panthers, hippies. Woodstock generation is not adverse to standing up and taking action. There's all kinds. Peaceful sit-ins. Not so peaceful sabotage. There's a lot of things that can be done here to show these folks that they can't get away with this. And I think we're going to start cooking them up. A lot of it could be cyber stuff. They say the Russians have got our utilities hacked. Maybe that's why I saw that problem over Hoover Dam, huh? Wouldn't that be something if they hack Hoover Dam and all that power goes out in the middle of this heat wave? Oh boy, what a lesson. Look out. I don't want to start dreaming and cogitating. I got ill feelings about all of this. I knew about global warming actually before Gore did. And I all the money I had in the world I sent to Gore at that time. Try to help him. But the American public went with the rich millionaires. Boo! Shame to the age we live in. Okay, for those of you who might have missed it, you can go to my website, skymirrorastrology.com/TV, or go to YouTube and YouTube Astrology with Rollin Frost. You have to punch on date and get the latest one in the week or the last month. But a lot of the shows I've done in the last month or two have been on these hazards in the air. My profession, for many years, this is the kind of work I did. Yes, I know my business. So here's a quickie. Sulfur dioxide gas. It's water soluble. It comes out of the lava on the ground. Because it's hot, it tends to go up. But it is heavier than air. And around active lava flows, you'll find this SO2 along the ground. Now, it's water soluble, so it won't hurt people. All my books say you can breathe a lot of it. A lot of it. And there's no long-term health effects, and you can get by just fine. However, it hurts plants. I just had a friend call me up and say, my God, all the plants in my ground are dying. It must be sulfur dioxide. Yeah, it was. It's not going to hurt you, but it kills plants really easy. So you got to remember that about sulfur dioxide. You know, it's got a bad taste when you breathe a bunch of it. You get this. It's not rotten eggs. It's more of a, I can't explain it. It's a bad smell, but you know, you can taste it too. So sulfur dioxide gas, not a problem. Hurts plants, not people. And what happens is all the sulfur dioxide gas goes up and reacts with nitrogen and hydrogen and water vapor in the air, and it makes nitrate. Makes, this is VOG, ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate comes from SO2. Yes. And the SO2 turns in to ammonium sulfate, which is a VOG particle, which are little tiny platelets, little crystals. They're water soluble. They dissolve in your body faster than table salt. They're not harmful. There's a lot of evidence that they're good. They help asthma. But we've ignored that. The health department got caught in their own lie. They had to demonize VOG to keep their federal grant, the Clean Air Branch, thugs. And so we're stuck with it for a while, but they did that to get money. These are co-opted government dudes who are lying to you about VOG. It's not harmful. The worst thing that VOG can do is that if you're driving and the little VOG particles are going in your eyes, you don't have glasses on, if you don't have enough fluid in your eyes to dissolve the ammonium sulfate particles and carry them away, well, they'll build up a little bit and you'll get a light solution of sulfuric acid, which can make your eyes red and irritated. A similar thing could happen if you're in bed and you're not turning over. Maybe you drank too much. People turn regular. See, when they turn, the top of their throat gets bathed. They turn over, the other side gets bathed. But if you don't turn over, the top of your throat gets dry. And if you're breathing VOG in the air, again, the little particles won't have enough fluid to be carried away safely. They'll build up a little bit. The pH goes down. You get a light sulfuric acid solution. You get a little sore throat. It'll go away right away in the morning. So these things, they're not something to freak out about. Finally, ashes. What to do about ash? You know, check your car window. See if there's particles there. The other thing is, the further you are from where the ash was started, the smaller the particle. If you got big hunks of ash, your lungs will just filter it right out. Check it out. What you cough up in the morning. I would say put your glasses out on the hood of your car and look and see what's on the glasses in the morning. There's lots of little ash particles. You can always go and get an I-95 particulate mask. If you get one, they're not easy to use. You go whiskers, you can't use them. You should just dunk it in a little light water so the edges are wet, paste it around your mouth to seal it, and then pinch down the metal thing over your nose and get a good fit. and it'll take out most all of the ashes. But we don't even know what's in the ash or what the particle size is. So it's not a serious thing. If you go down to the ocean, where the lava goes in the ocean now, and you get lays, that is a serious matter. Lays has hydrochloric acid in it and glass particles, and it will mess you up and your lungs. So you don't go near that plume. You'll see this white plume come up right where the lava goes in the ocean and goes a little down the coast. Don't go near there. That's the danger. The rest of it is not dangerous. Here's another side to it. I posted these all over Kona once. It's about getting asthma. We get asthma because little babies, a year old, breathe little teeny particles off the road and stuff. So I try to get the ladies not to move their little carriages along the road where all the cars kick up all this crap and the baby breathes it. The baby will have asthma the rest of their life. Yeah, get off that busy highway. Find a nice quiet side road. The dust raised by passing cars are only a foot off the ground for these little babies. It's complex. Partly rubber off tires, some old lead from past leaded gasoline, asphalt from the road, pesticides and others. The downwind side of the wind is where the shit collects. You wouldn't want to vacuum with a cheap filter and sit your toddler next to it. Dust so small you don't see it. Protect the toddler. If there's ash or fog particles in the air, protect the little toddler. It also turns out that fog is good for asthma. A lot of people come here to Kona and they got asthma and they breathe some fog and the asthma goes away. The lady that did the fog study down there said, oh, it's all confusing. One thing I can tell you, if your kid grows up in a fog zone, they will never get asthma. Whoa. So there's a lot of positive stuff about fog helping people. It's too bad the health department has demonized it to keep their money, and they won't look into that side. It's really too bad. But now you know. There's more on my past shows. You can go to the website or just YouTube Astrology with Rollin Frost and get more full information about these air hazards. So I gotta stop for now. I hope you listened. Tell your friends. Aloha.